Welcome to the Plush Life. You are going to be so glad that you joined us because we have a very, very special guest tonight. We had the pleasure of being able to interview Jerry Mathers, who you might remember from a very famous show called Leave It To Beaver, one of the longest running shows in history. And we're going to get to hear a little bit about his time with Leave It To Beaver as well as what he's doing today, all of these years later. We also have a great story coming up on the 100 Effect, which is just a great award ceremony that happens every year here in Northern Nevada, and we're going to hear from some of the winners of last year's event, some of the industry leaders and visionaries and the community people out there that are really making a difference are going to be here with us tonight. And then, of course, we'll have a great business spotlight, something that you're definitely not going to want to miss. So it's going to be a great show, and I hope that you enjoy it. Leave It To Beaver had its debut on October 4th, 1957, completing its run on June 20th, 1963. Now, during the whole of the show's run, the series was shot with a single camera on black and white 35mm film. The show has enjoyed ongoing popularity through off-network syndication, a reunion telemovie, Still the Beaver, and a sequel series, The New Leave It To Beaver. In 1997, a movie version based on the original series was released. And in October 2007, TV Land celebrated the show's 50th anniversary. Although the show never broke into the Nielsen Ratings Top 30, nor won any awards, it did place on Time Magazine's 2007 list of the 100 best TV shows of all time. Leave It To Beaver is still in syndication today and continues to air all over the world, making it the longest-running show in television history. Tonight we are thrilled to be joined by Jerry Mathers, better known as the Beaver. What happens when your whole life for 6 years has been about working, which is unusual at that age to start with, and then the show stops? Did you know right away that you wanted to continue in the industry? What were you going through at that time?
I didn't want to continue in the industry because I wanted to go to a regular school because I had never been in a classroom with any other kids. I had a private tutor. Now, when other kids came in, if they were regulars on the show, they might be with me that week. But I had a private tutor basically from the first grade on. So I wanted to go to a regular high school.
And did you?
Well, the studio came to me, or my parents, and said they had another series developed. And my parents asked me, but I was very lucky. Unlike a lot of the kids that were in the industry, my dad was fully employed. At that time, he was a vice principal of the largest high school in the LA Unified School District. So it wasn't like my whole family was living off me. My dad was, as I say, working all the time, and my parents said, no, he doesn't want to do it. Now, it's not that I didn't want to be an actor. As soon as I got out of high school, I went right into the military and spent 6 years in the Air Force.
Really?
And then I went to Berkeley, and when I got out of Berkeley, I have a degree in philosophy. Then I went back to acting.
And then what types of things did you do in the acting industry at that point?
I did lassies. I did all the things that everybody else does. I was just a regular working actor, and then I started doing banking, and then I went into real estate.
Oh my gosh.
And then Tony Dow, who we had still remained good friends, he said, what if you come and do a play with me in Kansas City? And so I said, sure, I'll go there. We did the play. It sold out 6 weeks in about 12 hours. The guy extended it for another 4 weeks, and that sold out in 2 hours. He realized what he had and asked us if we would like to go on tour. We toured for the next year and a half.
Now, when you come to Reno, what types of things do you and Tony do? Are you actually doing classes for some of the up-and-coming people from this area?
That's what I do. I give a seminar, and what I have them do is a lot of the people here don't really know what happens when you go to Los Angeles when you go in for a reading. So what I have them do is, my wife is also in the business, and she has been for a long time, and we act like a casting director. I'm a member of the Directors Guild. I act as the director, and we show them how you audition, and then we give them points. So if you've never been on a cold read in your life and you walk in there, it's very, very frightening. But if you can have somebody hand you a script,
well, you wouldn't have any idea what to expect,
and you wouldn't know what to do,
Yeah.
and what's right and what's wrong.
Right.
So we give them a script, we give them a few minutes to do it, and we also let them compose something that they want to do so that they have a little confidence. We let them start with that, then we give them the script, and they read it, and then we critique them and say, now, why did you take this character that way? and why did you take it this way? And we say, okay, well, that's a good one.
You know, he is such a big heart that he always supports our food pantry. We've got the Jack Davis Integrity Food Pantry, so he does meet and greets for that. He also trains some of our actors, so they actually get a resume credit saying Jerry Mathers. It's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So can they have multiple training classes with him? Are they private classes?
They're small groups, generally between 6 and 10 people. We don't advertise, so you have to call the studio.
Okay.
And we have other celebrities that come in and teach too. So
That is so much
it's really
fun.
kind of an interesting dynamic to have Jerry Mathers critique your audition.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, who's better than that?
I don't know. Well, he has enough experience, I'm sure. So now when you're out and about and you're in airports and out in communities, what's the one question that you get asked the most from your fans?
Was Eddie Haskell really that bad a guy? Because they don't think anybody could be that good an actor. And the guy that played Eddie Haskell, Ken Osmond, is almost diametrically opposed to Eddie Haskell. When he finished Leave It To Beaver, he became an LAPD motorcycle cop. You can see him on the show. He's really skinny. He had to eat malts and ice cream for 5 weeks to make the weight requirement. When he got the job, he asked to be a motorcycle cop, which is the person that's on the first one on everything. He's this little skinny guy. He was on the force for 19 years, chasing a stolen taxi cab, ran around a corner. The guy had crouched down, shot him 3 times, put him 7 feet up against the wall because the guy had hot loads in his gun. And they said, okay, Kenny, you've only got a year more and you can retire, and so we're going to put you on a desk. And he said, nope, retire me now. I'm a street cop. If you put me at a desk, retire me. That's the kind of guy Ken Osmond is. Eddie Haskell would have never said that.
So the answer to the question is no, he wasn't that bad.
He is a police hero. He's one of my heroes.
Oh, that's so great. Thank you so much for all of your efforts here in Northern Nevada and everything that you're doing for our up-and-coming actors here. That's great that you love it here and that you're spending your time here.
Well, I had a lot of people that helped me a lot all through my career, and it's like anything else. If you're good at your career, you don't mind giving back and having other people helping them along the way.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.